Hi, and welcome back to the Breakdown with Bethany. I'm Bethany Braun Silva, and here we are, part two with Sarah Nicole Landry of the Bird's Papaya. Sarah and I are going to be getting into all things relationships, intimacy, and we actually have something in common. We're both trying out for the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue and turning 40. And by the time this episode will have aired, we will have both already turned 40. So listen to our insights into embracing our boldest year ever and all of the things that Sarah is known for. She's truly an inspiration, and I am so excited I got a chance to talk with her. Anyone who's been following you for a long time knows that your family dynamic has shifted throughout the years,
Yeah.
and um, with your husband now, Shane, right?
Yep.
You talk a lot about like intimacy with him, and even like
Mhm.
letting him hold like the parts of you that you were not comfortable with, and like finding intimacy, like in this relationship. Are you comfortable sharing a little bit about that, like for women
Yeah.
are trying to like reconnect to their bodies and their partners? I know it's so hard, especially postpartum, and we again, oh my gosh, Sarah, we look to you for so much. Are you, is the pressure like too much, like of how much we
No.
like are,
No. I mean, I think my relationship with him was so fascinating and has taught me a lot because we are so, I mean, even if I get dressed up as like, does this look good on me? Like we always look to our partners like, how does this? Like, what is your thought? So we have this inherent desire for them to desire us, right? So for me, my belly was off limits. Don't touch it. Don't look at it. I wore a t-shirt in the bedroom. It was all of those things. I wrote a post on this years ago, because it was such a powerful moment in my life, which was he accidentally touched my stomach one time when we were laying in bed. We were spooning. He was snuggling me. I often happens I'm anemic, so I get really cold at night, and he usually snuggles me, so I like get my body temperature back, and I can fall asleep. And he did it, and he accidentally touched my stomach, and he like kind of flinched to move it away, and I took his hand and I put it back there, and I held it there, and the tears just streamed down my face onto the pillow. He couldn't see that. And I had this massive realization that all he wanted to do was hold me, and all I wanted was to be held. And I was the one that created this barrier between us that said, don't touch it, don't look at it, don't hold it. And in that moment, the whole relationship changed because everything that I feared would happen didn't happen. Once again, a theme of my life. And I really appreciated being able to share that intimate moment with him that was not sexual in any way. It was just like a moment of the two of us. And I mean, that was before I even got pregnant and had another baby and gained weight. And I wrote this sort of, I have this pinned on my profile, but it's the most important thing I think that I've written in terms of like having a relationship both with yourself and with somebody else, and your body sort of being in the mix of that. So he met me at my thinnest, which was a lot of people would throw that in my face and being like, he never would have liked you if you were heavier and when you met. And so I wrote this sort of in dedication to that. And I said, I'm 50 pounds heavier than when we met. I think about that sometimes when the doubt creeps in, when I feel unlovable for simply changing. But then I remember the journey we've been on. I remember that this change is actually a beautiful one. It's first dates, second dates, 1,000 of them more. It's the travel, the taste of it, the laughing till we're sore. It's cocktails on a Friday, curling up on a Sunday. It's been sickness, overworking, joy, and healing. It's having a baby together, woven inside my body. It's 50 pounds of what's made our family. So when I think about it and the doubt creeps in, I ask myself, what would you rather, have this life or be thin? And I smile at him and I look at our life, and it's not even a question. I would do it all over again. And every once in a while, I actually have to go back and read that because there is so much that makes us feel like us being small is the most important thing we can do in our relationships. Us having perfect bodies is like the best way that you can be a partner and a wife, and it's not. And so I think my relationship with him has really allowed me to explore a lot of that discomfort. I didn't meet him as a healed person. I met him literally while healing. I met him in the mess, and he met me there. And so he was patient. He was patient through the years of me wearing a t-shirt and walking backwards out of the bedroom. He never made a comment. He never made me feel bad about it. And he's also there while being able to touch and hold my belly now, and it's not a big deal. He was there through every moment of that pregnancy, from every pound that I've gained and lost. Like it is a relationship that's built on so much more. And I think that that has really allowed me to see not only how we treat love for other people and in relationship, but also how I could change the perspective of how I love myself, because you realize it's not just in the way you look and the way you feel about the way you look, but it also is in the actions that you do and the allowance of discomfort, the allowance of grief when your body changes, the allowance of having bad days and being really just wanting to hide away from it all. And it's also walking runways, and it's also wearing string bikinis because you never let the sun hit your belly before in your life. It's doing all of those things at once, and that's all love because it's all action. It's never just been, oh, I'm supposed to look in the mirror and feel amazing about myself every day. And I think a lot of people watch me and they go, well, I wish I had your confidence. And I'm like, I'm just making decisions in love for this life and for my body. It is not because I inherently hold some level of confidence that other people just don't have. I'm terrified. I'm so scared. I still work through, what other people might think or what other people might say, even on a grander scale because I'm doing it so publicly. But it's if I want love to be something that is not hinged on what something looks like, I have to apply that to the most important relationship I'll ever be in, which is the relationship with myself. And so I allow myself every single breath of emotion on this path of self love. And I also remind myself through things like that every single day that it's so much more action based than it is just like having butterflies in your belly all the time.
I love it. And if we could switch gears a little bit to family dynamics, I know
Hmm.
you were married before, you have
Yep.
three older children, and then with Shane, now you have Lemmy. And I
Yep.
know she's probably what, she's 5 or 6 now?
She's 3.
Oh
She's
my
almost
gosh, I'm sorry, three or
4. That's
four. But
okay.
so can you
She's such a
talk to me
baby.
about getting pregnant, not
Yeah.
getting pregnant, let me, but telling your older kids about
Yeah.
the new baby sister. How do
Yeah.
you I know there's lots of moms that listen to this who are on maybe second marriages, second
Yeah.
relationships, bringing in another child into kind of an already established family dynamic.
Yeah.
So what was that like?
I mean, I think I was the hardest on myself about it because there was a lot of guilt that came in. I mean, the quick realization of adding a child to a family unit that is now a new unit. So my husband he's been previously married before, but doesn't have any other kids. I have 3 that I share custody of. So now I'm coming into a dynamic of 3 of them are going to be going back to their dads and then back to me and shifting that. And then we have this new little one that is going to not only be a witness to that, but they're also going to be a witness to her staying with us. And I had so much guilt for the longest time of like, we're not going to do anything when you guys are gone. We're not going to go anywhere. We're not going to eat out. We're not going to, like, nothing fun is going to happen when you're gone. And you realize that's not really realistic. Like, we have to still live our lives, but they're also older too. And so I think I put a lot of pressure on myself for the whole thing to I don't know. I think I had a lot of fear about the age gap and how it was going to work and the different dynamics and the fact that I wasn't seeing other families like ours. I didn't feel like I had the roadmap on like what to do and how to face this. But with my kids, I told one of them separately that I knew was going to have to process with a little bit more emotion, and I didn't want her to have to process that in front of anybody else. She took a little bit longer, and I totally got that because I was like, girl, me too. I'm taking a little bit longer on this one where this is a big life change. We're all taking a minute with it. Um, and I let her have those feelings. And when I came to telling the other ones, I didn't record it. I didn't put any pressure on them. I was like, here's what's happening. It's both happy, but it's now new and different. Ask any questions you want. I just allowed them to speak any thoughts and fears and feelings around it. And then we were able to move forward. And I got to be like, I'm also a little worried. Like, I'm also really sad that our dynamic is both different but beautiful. And then she came along and I should have predicted it ended up bonding our family more than anything because it gave all of us this collective single thing that we were all obsessed with, which was our littlest, Lemmy. And she became that thing. Not that that was like her role or her job, but we all had it in common. So no matter how big they were getting and grown in a way they were, everyone wanted to be a witness to everything she was doing. And now she's learned, she's almost 4, and she's learned that even when her siblings are gone, you can call them anytime. We can chat, we can talk to them. And she, I think, feels probably like she's got the best little life because she has basically five older kids or like full older guides in her life for her. So the dynamic is actually a really cool one. And I know that there's a lot of people who hesitate on, they want to have another baby, but there's a huge age gap. And how the heck will that ever work? And I love being living proof of that. And I love every mom who slid into my DMs and was like, hey, my kids are like 10 years apart. Let me tell you our story. Let me tell you how good it is. Because I think there's a lot that people are like, oh, this is going to be hard and this is going to be hard and this is going to be hard. And like, what about when this happens? And what about when that happens? And it's like, yeah, but what about all of the good stuff too? It's the same as I feel when people warn you your whole life about what it's going to be like to have teenagers. And then I have teenagers and I'm like, I'm sorry, they're awesome. I love teenagers. Can we stop saying, just you wait and say, just you wait? Like, it's so good here. Why are we so, why are we instilling so much fear? Or why are we instilling that only 2 year age gaps is going to be the acceptable age gap for siblings? There's so much more than that. So I'm very, very grateful for the other moms who sort of led me through what it is to have blended families with an age gap. And I also love watching it play out and how beautiful it's been for our family and how bonding it's been, not scary and not bad.
I love that. And final question for you, because I'm
Hmm.
about to turn 40 on
Oh,
December
me too. Wait, on December what?
18th.
I'm the 31st.
That's awesome. So I actually celebrated yesterday with a bunch of my friends, and I know, yes, and I actually knew you were going to be turning 40. So
Yeah.
what are you most looking forward to? Because I'm actually running headfirst into this decade with like
Yeah.
open arms. I am so ready. I felt for a long time that my life was going to explode in a really amazing way. I don't know why I had that number of 40, but
Yeah.
what are you most looking forward to as you like say bye to the 30?
I think just removing a lot of those self-limiting beliefs of what it is to turn 40 and that like the world doesn't stop at 40. Fashion doesn't stop at 40. Opportunities don't stop at 40. Modeling doesn't stop at 40. Like all of these things, like I'm like you, I'm applying for Sports Illustrated as well. Many people don't realize like doing the runway doesn't get me into the magazine. So like I'm applying as well. But I'm doing it and I'm like, how cool is it that I'm doing this while I'm turning 40? I'm not in my 23-year-old body. I am not somebody who is I think just like showing other people, like even if the answer is no, don't like, and this was something that Ching sort of taught to me when we were at the runway, which is you have to be the one to believe it for yourself first. So I want to believe that the 40s are going to be so good because I think they are. I think it's going to be so full of a lot of like liberation and freedom in your life, in your body, in your parenting. I think there's so it's so cool watching other women in their 40s like killing it, in their 50s killing it. I mean, Martha Stewart being on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Are you kidding me? Like so badass. Like I don't want to have self-limiting beliefs on what it is to age anymore. And I know that we age differently now and everybody ages differently, but I'm excited for what it brings. I'm excited for the possibility and I'm excited at the opportunity for the narrative of what being in your 40s can look like and show people how powerful that is, not like, oh my God, I'm 40. Like, over the hill, done for. Like, just let me erase myself from society like they try to do so often. I want to just I want to do more. I said this year was like my best yet. I want 40 to be the year that blows it all out of the water. And I hope it does.
Yeah, I think it will. And you know
Yeah.
what? Like maybe we'll see each other on the
Yeah.
page as I like here's hoping.
Here we go. Here we go, babes.
Let's go rally. But I can't thank you enough for the time. You know, like I mentioned, I've just been such a fan and a follower. You're such an inspiration. So getting to chat with you like this has been just so fun, so eye-opening. And like I just thank you so much for your transparency. You've changed a lot of lives. So
I honestly I think what people don't realize is I don't get to do this without the community that's here. And I said in the very beginning when I started 16 years ago, I just wanted to be able to talk with other people. And to this day, it's what keeps me going. Kindness online goes a long way. People sharing in experiences goes a long way. My life would not be the same without the people who have been there championing me and allowing me to do this stuff. So I mean, so much gratitude. Thank you so much for being such a longtime follower. It makes me, it immediately like takes down this like wall and like, oh, you know me, you know me. Okay, we're good. We're safe here. I think it's a really powerful thing to be in community, even if it is in online spaces, because that I think that's just as real and valid. And so I encourage anybody who is maybe considering what would it look like to start sharing online and allowing themselves like giving themselves permission to yeah, even if you're 40 going for it, apply for Sports Illustrated. Who the heck, like I applied for the first time like 6 years ago or something silly, did not hear anything for 5 years. Like why not you? Like, and I think that that's such a cool part of everything is like why not us? Why are we having such self-limiting beliefs on what opportunities could be ahead of us and really strategizing ourselves towards those goals a little bit more. I mean, I've literally been doing more to achieve what I think is possible in my 40s by putting in place, like I literally will say to people on shoots, don't make me look mumsy, don't make me look powerful. I want to own the position I'm in, and I also am a mother, but I'm not a mother is not my entire identity. I'm a person and I want to be her, and then I want to represent the rest. So I think it changes your whole perspective when you start to see yourself as a whole being and also a mother. And so I've just been doing a lot of that, and I can't wait to kick ass next year. And I
Uh,
can't wait to see you kick ass next year. I think that's awesome.